to turn you up. You sound really good in this microphone.
Yeah, you like me, baby.
I like the way it sounds.
Oh, that does turn it up.
That's nice.
Oh,
That's nice.
that's nice. Yeah,
Very nice.
very nice. Yeah. Those are nice glasses. You want to leave those at my house?
Every time I lose a pair of shades, I always think to myself,
You call me every
when
time.
was the last time I was at Jim Melora's?
Dude, those are nice Ray-Bans, man. I will tell you this: they don't float.
What brand?
Those
There's
are
a
Ray-Bans.
brand. No, there is a brand of
Yeah.
sunglasses that are supposed to float.
I think a lot of them now claim there's a ton of that because it's a selling point, right?
Yeah. All right.
Looks good. I like you.
Are we ready, Jim?
Are you?
I'm ready. If you're ready, you can count it down.
Well, I guess let's hit it. Welcome to Middle Stage. I got my sidekick Ryan Rydell, and I'm Jim Beluch, and we are here to talk about things.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, stuff and things and whatnots.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
What time is it right now?
I think it's about 10:15-ish.
I say that while I'm looking at my phone and I can see the time, but my mind cannot process what's happening because there's so much in my world that it could be Monday, it could be Thursday, it could be 9 p.m. I can't even figure shit out right now.
Trying to be a little incognito.
I tell you what,
It could
man,
be.
there's just a lot going on.
So I want to get back to something from last week. So we had Mr. Mike Scalisi on with us last week.
Yeah,
And we talked a lot of good things. And
Yeah.
so our kids played baseball. So that night we our boys played some JV baseball against Hononegah.
The old Hano Boylan game.
Dude, I tell you this. So Aiden was on the Hano team, obviously last year as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the snot out of Boylan by like 20 runs.
Okay.
So this year, Aiden was pretty pumped up, and they told him 2 weeks ago that he was going to get that start. That was something that they earmarked for him, and it was either he was going to piss down his leg or rise to the occasion, right? So pitched 3 innings. Actually went into the fourth. It was really, really cold. His first 3 innings, he pitched really well. Gave up, I think, 1 run over 3 with 5 Ks. So he gets into the fourth. He started losing feeling in his fingertips from the weather.
From the cold.
Yeah, and I kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So relief pitching, everybody's cold. 6th inning, it's top of the 6th, tied up 6-6. At the top of the 5th, Aiden was up, and we tried to steal home, got tagged. There was 2 outs, so he goes into the 6th. Goes down 1-2 count. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I was like, this is going to be painful to watch. And he gets a hanging curveball and just dots that ball, man, dead center. First official hit as a Boylan Titan. It was a home run to dead center against his old team, Hononegah.
That's going to be a memory he takes.
Yeah. And so he had a lot of friends, obviously, on that Hano team.
Yeah.
Most notably Tyler Toy. And so he struck out Tyler in the 2nd inning, but in the I think it was in the 4th or in the 3rd, Tyler got a hit off Aiden. So I was like,
all right.
You guys are even, man. Like,
Yeah.
it was cool. But ultimately, Hano won the game 8-7 in the bottom of the 7th. Big changes for Boylan baseball from last year to this year, and they had a lot of kids hitting the ball. There was a kid that I don't think Aiden ever played with him, but I know he played with like Joe Benny, Noah McDermott.
Okay.
The name sounded familiar. He's been playing second base. He did an amazing job. He went, I think, 3 for 4 in the game and did
Noah
an excellent
McDermott
job.
sounds like a baseball player's name.
Right? Yeah, big kid too. I'm surprised to see him at second base. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
But he got it done, man. And he did well out in the field too, which was nice to see.
It's tough to play this time of year.
It is. We were just talking about that. Like Northern Illinois, man. There's no reason to be playing high school baseball until April 1st at least. I think anything that happens, like if you have to postpone after April 1st, I get it. But why are we scheduling games on March 11th?
I know. We've got it in
or 15th or whatever it
in
is.
the youth league. we don't even start practices until the middle of April.
Yeah.
And we have games in the middle of May. And that's primarily because if you try to play games in May, early May,
it's tough.
There's a lot of times
There's
it's going to
rain,
get canceled.
There's going to be days that it's cold. Might even be some snow.
Right. We are in the wrong area of
Yeah.
the U.S. to try to be playing baseball in March.
Yeah, I agree. But ultimately, I had a blast. Like I said, even though Boylan lost, I enjoyed watching Aiden compete.
Especially, I mean, if he hit a ding dong for his first hit on his new team against his old team, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, and the game was tied up 6-6. That was the go ahead run.
Yeah.
They ended so Hano tied it up in the bottom of the 6th, and then they held us at the top and scored a run.
So pretty
in the bottom
tight
of
game
the
then.
Oh, really tight game. It's going to be a fun 2-game set when the weather is a little warmer. You know, their pitcher, they had their pitcher did really well. And I think he went 4 or 5 innings. Did well. I'm glad that Aiden, he was on track. Like if he could have stayed in, it was warmer. His pitch count would have been pretty low. I don't like seeing kids throw 80, 90 almost 100 pitches in March. I don't like it anyway, but
at that age, that's a lot.
It is. Yeah. And especially when it's cold, it's beginning of the season. I don't care. Most of these kids aren't prepped for that.
No, most of them don't have a proper warm-up regimen anyways.
Yeah.
They consider playing catch in the outfield as their warm-up.
Yeah. And then Hano Varsity ended up winning the varsity game 2-1. So it was a really tight game throughout.
Those are the two teams in this conference,
they really are.
Right? I mean, Harlem can sometimes compete.
Harlem's going to have some people but I don't think. I don't know. You know what? I don't know that junior senior class at a lot of the schools. Obviously, I know Hano, and I'm seeing Boylan, and so there's a lot of good athletes there. Mm-hmm. But Freeport, I think, might be they might tussle up a little bit too.
I did hear that they kind of picked up their game recently.
Yeah,
so that might be on the backs of a very specific unit of kids.
Yeah, and I think it depends on who's pitching.
Yeah.
They might have one or two dudes that are decent.
Yeah.
I don't think they have anybody that's shutting anybody down or whatever. So I enjoy the high school baseball season. Aiden's getting to play against his buddies. I think they have a game. It might be late April, early May. They're playing Dakota. Yeah. Aiden's old best friend, Braxton, plays for that Dakota team. So he's really looking forward to playing against those guys.
Hey, Kiko, do you play baseball or did you play baseball?
I have never played baseball.
I'm surprised.
I'm actually not a sports guy at all, and not even soccer, and that's in my blood. I don't follow a team. I don't have a team. I enjoy playing in sports, but I don't have a team.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to fix that.
Let's do it. I'm down to play.
We're gonna have to take you into a Cubbies game.
Let's do it.
Yeah, turn you into a North Sider. Josiah might actually be down for a little bit of that too.
Oh, I know he loves baseball.
Amen.
I did go to the when the Cubs won the World Series. I didn't go to the game. I went to the
outside party.
Yeah. That was wild.
Yeah?
That was wild.
That would have been a really good time.
So my wife and I, we were at Game 6 of the NLCS when they clinched to go to the World Series. Kershaw was on the mound for the Dodgers, and that there were 300,000 people outside of the stadium.
It's wild when you get that deep, man. The amount of passion that just pours from the streets of the city.
Yeah. So in our old parking spot, I mean, where we used to park, where the old Taco Bell was.
Yep.
It took us 2 hours. We were in the right field. They funneled everybody out of left field where the media entrance and the fire station is there.
Yeah.
So we had to go the whole way out. It took us 2 hours to get across the street. To get to our car. It was amazing. I would do that all over again.
I love Wrigleyville. It's one of my favorite places to go hang out.
I like it a lot more now.
Yeah, like the upgrades that they've made around the stadium and the new restaurants and bars and some of the shopping they have down there is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, baseballism, baby.
There's this one, what's it called? We went there before a concert.
Is that place where we took the pictures? Or
We took, yeah, they got
Or
a
it's
bunch
like
of
a
pictures.
Barbie
set up.
place or something?
I got to be honest. The whole place has this vibe of like it's just trying to attract
the cool kids?
younger females. Honestly,
Oh, absolutely.
Like
It felt like a Barbie, like,
very much.
remember
so.
they had like a motorcycle,
Lot
or
of
like
pastel
pictured
colors,
places.
a lot of lively greenery in it.
Yeah.
Neon setups
you
for
go
lights
upstairs
and
that day?
cages to sit in, and it's like just even the drinks are all they're very feminine type drinks. And here's the problem with this,
They
Jim.
have the
The flamingo thing,
the flamingo cup.
So all those drinks, it's a very feminine vibe there. Even the bartenders, they're very feminine character.
Yeah.
In everything that they do, visually, sensually, the taste, everything. It's all very feminine. But I fucking love it.
Is it like
it's
the
one
London
of my
House
favorite
or
places. Lost, never found.
Lost Never Found. Yeah.
Yeah, love that place.
Yeah,
I can't get enough of it.
that
man.
was a cool
Like,
place.
I rolled through there and I'm like, yeah, that's glitzy and gold and pretty and frilly. But
That's not the first
I
place
can't
that
get
was
enough.
that was there when they built that out.
No, that I think that was new over the last couple of years.
Well, I think there was something else there before.
It probably
And
was.
I mean, they just got to figure out the healthy mix of what works and what doesn't. There.
Well, there's been a few spots in there that work out really well. Obviously,
right
all the
down-
dive bars, the staple bars all around the corners of the stadium, they're going to be around forever.
There was a place that was like the next block over, the Rocket Burger Bar. That was a cool place.
Okay.
They had a grilled cheese burger. So the bun was grilled cheese sandwich on either side with a burger in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Aiden had that.
Okay.
He came pretty close to finishing it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was.
There's Small Cheval I have not been to yet, but I heard they make really, really good burgers in there. And it really is
Is that
just
the one on
evident
the other end?
it's on the corner.
Yeah. So we went. We stopped
Church,
in there.
corner Church. I believe.
Yeah,
Church and Clark.
We went there after one of the concerts, just because we knew that they're like trying to get out of downtown there was going to be a pain in the ass. So we went in there and had a drink. Super nice place. I didn't really like the staff that much, to be quite
The
honest.
Small Cheval?
Yeah, and it was late though, and so they were everybody was pretty much probably done for the day, and they
Yeah.
just didn't want to hear it. But
This doesn't happen very often, but I think I'm wrong on a location of that. I'm gonna look it up.
that's the one on it's right under the Zachary, right?
No.
On the other end, it'd be the south side of the building.
Let's see. Small Cheval.
I thought that was
Wrigleyville.
Addison and
It's Clark and something.
I thought it was Clark and Addison.
Waveland.
Clark and Wave.
Yep, Clark and Waveland.
Mm.
Well, I want to go there. This year I want to go there because you know me. I've got a friggin' tummy ready for a nice burger.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I crave. is
Speaking of burgers, you missed out on Saturday. A lot of people missed out.
Yeah.
So-
Fuck you. You knew I was out of town and you've been talking about this place forever. I've never been.
It's my favorite place.
And then all of a sudden I come back and you're like, oh, by the way.
It did not disappoint. It had been a couple years since Laura and I had been there. Rydot Corners out on Route 20. If you folks haven't been out there, dude, plain and simple, just a burger.
Yeah.
With fresh ingredients and veggies healthy veggies. I could have ate two of them. It was just Laura and I. We got into the Rolodex and was like, hey, anybody want to go? And everybody was busy. So we ended up, and Aiden had baseball practice until like 2:00. So we picked him up. He didn't want to go. Him and his buddies were going to, I think, to a movie or something. So it was just Laura and I. We went up there and they already have summer shandy on tap, which is really nice. So,
Already?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, and then we ended up, we had a burger, had a few beers, and then we ended up going over to a friend's house after that, had a drink at their house. Then we grabbed them and then met another couple at the Verde Club. And then from there, we went and picked up somebody to go to the 615 Club for dinner.
You had a week's worth of activity in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, after we got done with dinner, we were supposed to meet another couple, and I was exhausted. We'd been off and on, having a few cocktails
Yeah.
during the day, and we've eaten a couple times. Like I was El Dunde.
Yeah. All the while, I'm just
You're in
sitting
Arizona.
at
You were having fun.
85-degree weather
Yeah.
at Sloan Park watching the Cubbies play
Yeah.
the Brewers. No big deal.
There is another trip coming. I'd certainly go back to Rydot anytime, but we're going to go down and get the best fried chicken that I've ever had.
But if you're not about to say that you're coming to my house for me to make fried chicken,
I like your fried chicken, man, but it's different. Like
well, yeah, that's the whole point.
This place,
it's got to be different. Jim.
I think it's Lad. It's down in Lad,
Okay.
or LaSalle, Peru. It's down by LaSalle, Peru. It's called Rips.
Okay.
Rips Chicken, dude. It's a homage. It's a mecca of chicken. Dude, it
a
is
mecca of chicken.
It is amazing. The place doesn't have real tables. They have just a bunch of picnic tables with like plastic on the table.
It sounds like a good vibe, honestly. And I love some good fried chicken, man. I am curious, so I'm gonna Kiko, what other than tacos, what is your favorite food?
No, you're right. Tacos is number one for me.
See,
100%.
I
There's
was
so many of them that you can't go wrong with.
No,
yeah.
dude, I like a good tostada.
Yeah.
Tostadas are good. Yeah, I like good barbecue.
Yeah.
I
Now,
do enjoy some.
what's your favorite meat for your tacos? Like carne asada?
Well,
Or?
carne asada is always my go-to, but if I want something a little different, al pastor is pretty good. Like
Yeah,
pork
al
spot,
pastor.
pastor, yeah. And lately, shrimp tacos for me. Lately,
Ooh. I like a good fish taco. Like,
Oh yeah.
but al pastor, I just think the marinade. It reminds me of something that like a Cuban sandwich in a taco, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So if I'm not getting a taco from a food truck, I'm usually getting tacos at Trucked in Beloit. So I'm curious. So like, what is the best place to get a good taco around here?
I don't like their tacos as much up at Trucked. I know they have some good ones. I don't know. I don't like them overall. I like Olivo tacos.
Is that a truck or a?
They have both. They have a brick and mortar and they have a food truck.
All right,
Dude, they're the little ones. Very, very tasty.
all right. Kiko, what's your favorite?
so there's a spot in Rockford about 5 minutes away from here. It's inside of a grocery store. They don't advertise
Yeah.
the spot.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, the little secret spots.
That's
Yeah.
jit.
Yeah,
That's jit.
to me, those are the most traditional, best tacos and big tacos you can get for the price. I love going there.
It's like being out in Napa when we went to the grocery store and we had
Oh,
taco.
that place was
that's
really
the same.
good.
That's the same type of deal,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, that was yummy.
Yeah, the place called Guanajuato is a grocery store, but inside they have a little restaurant spot.
I do know that. I know that name.
It's next to the old Roma Bakery in 15.
Who told me about that place? Man, this is a. I asked somebody not too long ago, and they said this
They said the
grocery.
same spot?
Yeah, they said that spot.
We're gonna have to make some. I mean, I would go do it today.
Let's do it. Lunch. And the cool part about it is that when you see people going into this to get tacos, it's all kinds of people. You see cops, firefighters, you see all kinds of races. Everybody loves this spot. It's
Yeah,
not just,
Yeah.
yeah, we got to try it. I'll take you guys.
Heck yeah.
Can't today. I can't. I got 2 meetings over at D1.
No, what you got to do is go delete your cookies.
All right. Why do you delete cookies?
I'm sorry, that shirt.
This
my
shirt
gosh.
kills. This is always a good
How many of those shirts do you have, Jim?
enough.
Which one is your favorite?
This is one of my favorite, but I'm typically a Cuddle Monster guy.
I love
Yeah,
the color
I like that one. But I got a couple other ones that I'll be bringing out. Laura's looking for some new ones
Yeah.
because I need to update my stock. But so typically over the last like 5-6 years with travel baseball, to just be a little bit more lighthearted, I just every day I wore a different.
Well, all
t-shirt.
the dads wear the same thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to
it's
wear
a
some,
t-shirt, a hoodie, or a polo with that team's logo on it, and
Yeah.
then
Or
your
the
kid
name.
changes teams the next season, and you're buying new shit anyways. So it's such a waste. In this particular case, you can wear your trophy husband shirt, your why you delete cookies
until it no longer fits or it just has holes in it. Right?
Cookie Monster.
Dude, I loved Cookie Monster.
Why you
I was a
delete
big,
cookies?
so who was your favorite character? So mine was Grover.
What?
Dude, I loved Grover.
Cookie Monster every time, like Cookie Monster.
Oh man,
Because he loves cookies, and I love cookies.
I was a Grover kid.
You ever see me with a plate of cookies?
I have.
I'll go
I
to
have.
Chowtown, man.
Chow time.
Seriously, man, I will get unhealthy with a plate of cookies.
So,
Quick.
tell me about your trip, man. You went to Arizona last weekend?
Yeah. We flew down to see some friends. They're always really hospitable. They put us up in their place. They got a nice house, pool, hot tub. Weather's fantastic. So whenever he hits me up and says, hey, there's this happening, there's this event, there's this ball game or whatever, it's pretty easy to just hop a plane, head down there, spend a weekend.
Especially out of Rockford now. Right?
Yeah, you fly out of Rockford. In this case, it's Friday through Monday. They have limited flights out of Rockford, so you're kind of stuck. You're like, go down on Friday, come back on Monday.
How much were the flights? Are they decently priced?
Too much. We talked about this last week,
Yeah.
and you challenged me, and you
That's
said
right,
there's no
that's
way
right.
that costs that much.
It used to be like 200, less than $250.
Yeah, so I used to be able to get down to see him round trip for less than 300.
Yeah.
Right. They were about 600 per person
That's insane out of Rockford, man.
out of Rockford. Yeah, and that's with only one bag.
They need
And
to
the
make
bag
up,
was only like $37.
They need to make up for the free parking. Or is it? No, it's not even free
really
anymore.
cheap. It's really cheap parking, but that's an airport thing.
Yeah.
The airline themselves. I was just surprised with as limited as they are, and I gotta be honest, man, they got us there and back, but it's not a good airline. I do not recommend Allegiant.
No, they're not my favorite either.
No, but they get the job done. And still, with that being said, they were still cheaper than anything out of Chicago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
The next cheapest flight I could find for similar days was going to be about $1,450.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what it is that's causing it. Maybe it's the war, maybe it's the upcoming election, just general inflation. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I hope that prices don't stay this bad. Now, here's the other
I
thing.
think prices just went up after. Well, they were just talking about that Francis Scott Key Bridge issue out in Baltimore.
Yeah,
because
with the
of the
boat
amount
that
of
hit-
diesel fuel that is transported from that port.
Yeah, that could suck really bad. Now, I did just book my flight to the filming of that TV show I'm going to be on.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about that too.
Well, the flight itself, first class. It's a short flight. It's only to Tulsa, but first class there and back round trip's only $600.
That's pretty nice.
No, the thing is though is that I'm not flying on any weekends. It's all midweek days.
Yeah.
So I feel like these airlines are really, they're saying like,
You're getting penalized for convenient weekend travel.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which sucks because I tend to like to fly back on Sundays.
Yeah. So, what can you tell us about this show? The name of it, some of the intricacies. You know, what's it about?
So I did end up sending out the PR just got hit. Working with them, there's certain things I can and can't say. So that's how the PR got written.
That's why I asked you. You tell us what you can.
Yeah. So. Couple of things that I can say is that it's 100% based on entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. The idea is to take a entrepreneurship startup boot camp and turn it into a competition and film it and crown a winner at the end.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's going to be available. I mean, it's right now. You can watch some of the seasons on Prime Video. Facebook series. They got their own app that you can download. The TV show is called The Blocks. BLOX.
Okay.
The Blocks.
So basically, at this point, you're saying more to come.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because there's a few more things I have to do in the meantime. But I won't be leaving it. Like I go to film in July.
Oh, okay.
So
is that after the rec league baseball season?
Not entirely. So I did have to make a decision there, and thankfully I got some great volunteers that are helping. That is championship week. It's the final week.
I cannot believe you're going to go.
I had to make a big decision. I had to decide, like, do I stay for this week?
Have you ever missed that in the last 15 years?
15 years, I've never missed a championship week. Never. But my son, Jason, huge help with the league, and some other individuals are stepping up and understand that they need to plan to make sure that happens. Because I needed to make a decision and invest in myself, this new business venture, and take this opportunity. I couldn't say no to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking really forward to seeing what that is.
It should be cool. They don't guarantee a release date right now, but my anticipation is that it'll be a couple months after filming. They'll be done with post-production.
Yeah, they got to
and it'll
edit.
release this
Post-production
season.
stuff.
Yeah. So I'll keep everybody updated as more shit's released. But yeah, The Blocks available on Prime Video
I'm really looking forward
coming
to that.
soon.
What else is going on?
My son's car broke down on the side of the road, as you know.
Well, yeah, dude. On Tuesday, I went to get some lunch at the Subway right over from D1.
Yeah.
And off of 173 there, and I walk in, and I thought I saw a D1 T-shirt, and I was like, and I look, and I was like, oh, that's Zach. I was like, hey man, what's up?
What's up?
And he's like, oh, just waiting for an Uber. I was like, ooh. I was like, what? At the Subway, like. I know you don't live around there, and and he pointed out in his car.
He's like, my car's over there.
So,
yeah, it was very unfortunate. Zach has a good head on his shoulders, and
he works hard, man.
He does, and I've always tried to instill the essence of self-care and taking care of your own shit. Like, just be a problem solver. Don't lean on other people as much. So he always does try to take care of things himself. One thing he can't do is transmission work.
Yeah.
So he takes it into the mechanic that normally works on this vehicle, and they're like, well, we can't do this and this, so we're going to take it somewhere else. They take it somewhere else. They can't do the work, but they ended up doing something and said, if we flip this and this and this and did that, and it seems to be fine, it might give you a couple of problems, but come and pick it up. In the meantime, Zach's still looking for another vehicle. He's like, this car is at the end of its life, and we're going to have to find something else. So he knows this isn't the car probably for the next month. He's like, I'm ready to be done with this thing. But he's been like without a reliable vehicle for the last 2-3 weeks, taking my car, other people's vehicles, figuring out shit. And so I drop him off to get his car, and I head back to go to lunch, leaving him there. He sends me a text like 10 minutes later, says, I barely got it past 173, and it just died again.
Yeah. He said it was doing some funky shit too.
Yeah.
So it was like,
yeah. At this point, he's done. So he just texted me right away. He's like, I'm going to get an Uber. I was ready to just turn around, cancel my lunch, come pick him up. But he's like, no, I'll just take care of it myself. So I'm like, all right. Well.
Yeah, he needed to eat. And so
he's like, I'll go to Subway, get myself so we're going to go car shopping tomorrow. I'm going to take him out, try to get him something good.
Yeah, he said he got some money for down payment and where he wants his payment to be and things like that. So that'll be good for him.
Yeah, we'll get them all squared away tomorrow. So that's happening. That's a ton of fun.
We got it. Well, ours doesn't legit start driving until June.
Yeah, and he's not going to have those car problems that we had when we were growing up.
And I mean, no, he's not. We bought him a new car. We bought it when he got his permit.
Yeah,
but I've been driving it.
Good luck giving that up, Jim.
Oh man, I actually really like the car. It's a Chevy Trax.
This is your leverage on him when he pisses you off.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, you don't get your car today.
He drove us to the store yesterday, and we were talking about that. I said, I really, really like this car, man. Like it's good on gas. Even when gas prices spike, it's like $35 to fill the tank. It's peaceful.
That is nice.
Yeah.
That is really nice. Actually, I rented a convertible down at Phoenix because mine has the hardtop that got locked in place.
Oh, that's right.
And so I have been able to drive it on these nice days that pop up. So I got an itch, and so we went down there and rented a convertible. And sure enough, the one day that we were going to drive it the most, it's fucking raining.
Karma, man. It's like get you every time.
Yeah, it does. We did get a chance on Monday to drive through the mountains and see some of those protected lands. We saw some wild horses.
Yeah. Now, did
you gorgeous views in the mountains?
Are some of the mountain areas, are they still charred from the fires a few years ago up there?
Yep, they still are.
That's amazing, man. Was there? I'm sure there was. Were you guys up where there was snow?
Not that high.
Yeah.
No, we didn't go that high, but just some gorgeous views that you have to take in while you're down there.
We did a couple years ago when we went out there to visit. We did a 4-wheeling day, and we went up into those mountain peaks.
Oh yeah,
it was really cool, man. Like we did some hairy shit, and there was so much snow on the ground. I couldn't believe it in Arizona. It was was just something I just wasn't.
You get up high
prepared
enough,
for.
it's there. Yeah, I did like doing that. I guess he sold those, so
Yeah.
no chance to do that anymore. But I don't know. Every time I go down there, I question why in the world do I still live up here in the Midwest? And business, family, friends.
Yeah.
There's a certain value to being around them.
Yeah, the older we get, the more travel that we're getting prepared to do to get out of Illinois. There's all kinds of reasons to not be in Illinois, and is vacation and travel is going to be at the top of our list.
Yeah, well, apparently I've built up a reputation of being a traveler, and I don't even do that crazy of travel. Like I'll go on little weekend trips to Mexico, and I do a lot of domestic travel. I do a lot.
You had a period of time where it was like, shit, man.
It's every month. There's something that I want to do, and I like that. But I was at Golf League last night, and there's a guy there, and he says, "So how was your trip?" And I had no idea he knew I went anywhere, so I told him it was good. And he's like, "What's next? What's next for Ryan?" I'm like, oh shit. So I named off everything coming up, and I just kept going. And he's like, "This is through when?" He's like, "Normally that would be like 2 years of travel for some people, 3 years of travel." And it's only through like August that I'm telling him. And then this guy next to him looks, he says, "What do you do for a living?" And my answer to that was
world traveler.
Yeah, it's like
Bond, James Bond.
Pretty much whatever I want.
Yeah. You tell people you're 007. Dude, you missed out on a fantastic dinner last night. Some Wagyu steaks. I made some roasted red potatoes, and some asparagus with Parmesan and garlic.
Sounds fantastic. You missed out on a okay-ish wine pairing dinner that I did on Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. That was the Argentinian
wine. The wine was great. I've had better food. It was cool to be at the rooftop though, doing that. I hadn't been at
They do a nice
wine
job up
pairing
there
on the rooftop yet. So
I like
nice.
they got the heaters outside and stuff. I think those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they need to bring more of that loungy feel that's on the outside. They need to bring that inside.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's no really comfortable place to sit on the inside over the winter. And they keep it open in the winter. And I love their drinks. Their bartenders are fantastic. And their little tapas snacks that they have are really good.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want to go and sit on a fucking ottoman.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Right? Yeah. The loungy spaces outside are much nicer.
Yeah.
So I'll frequent there over the summer considerably more than the winter.
We got a big day coming up on Monday.
Yes. Cubbies.
Opening day.
Wrigley opening day.
That's our tradition. Yep. We've been going to that for a few years now.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather's nice. I think we've only done it once where actually the game got canceled.
Right, and I think it was because of snow on that one, and we ended up at a bar across the street.
It was where the DraftKings place was. Remember, it was the outside tent there?
No, we went there when the playoff game got canceled.
Oh, that's right.
The opening day, we ended up going across the street to some like barbecue place. And then we ended up dipping out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Once we got the note, because it got delayed initially.
That's right.
And then it's like, nah, we can't clear the snow off. And then all of a sudden, you see all the guys popping up, like sliding in the snow on the field and posting all this shit on social media. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm hoping we started off right. The Japanese dude is going to starting opening day
on the bump
at Wrigley, man.
All right. Well. Baseball season, here it is.
He looks pretty good. I was watching some of his stuff in spring training, and I think he's going to be pretty sick, man.
Are you going to get an old style beer?
I'll probably have an old style. I'm sure. I'm sure that'll be in the cards. I try to partake in tradition as much as possible.
Yeah.
Actually, so I wish I don't know. I like old style. It's strong, man. Like, it shortens the trip in a hurry.
What's the ABV?
Dude, I don't know what ABV. I know it's stronger than, like, Miller Lite.
Okay.
So...
or at least it feels stronger, feels heavier.
Yeah. It'll get you shit canned. I prefer Miller Lite, but they don't sell Miller Lite.
That's the thing. Who prefers Miller Lite, Jim?
I just like a regular old Pilsner, man. It's easy. It's tasty.
Miller Lite?
Yeah, Miller Coors, baby.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
What? Horns down.
I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson about beer.
Texas, horns down.
No, man. Miller Lite is got to be one of the worst beers
It's not.
I've ever tasted.
It is absolutely not. But I have been drinking more Modelo and Coronas.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. I like those.
For domestic standard, Bud Light's about the one that I'd be like, all right, cool, I can deal with this.
Magoo.
Not gonna be what?
You would like Bud Light. Yuck. Tastes like fucking goat piss. It's just gross.
Well, I don't. It sounds to me like you just pronounced heaven wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
My goodness. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get drunk on that one or not. Been a lot of drinking lately, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I
just
probably won't.
like just stacking days and days and days. It's like no breaks, and my body's fine with it. I've got a tolerance, but
I got a doctor's appointment the next morning, so I'm not gonna.
oh, they gonna make you do a piss test?
No, I gotta check I'm getting my tummy checked. Like I got like gastro issues going on.
Okay, so let's talk about that for
Old
a
man
second
shit.
because at what point? So at 42, at what point do I need to start worrying about a colonoscopy?
So a lot of people. So if it runs in your family, you should. If there's colon issues or shit like that, you should do it earlier. I think the official is like 50 and older, but I would say 45, man. Like you really should prostate colonoscopy.
Not ready for that.
I'm not either, but you know what? It just makes me nervous. I hate it. Like I've never had any issues,
Yeah.
and then here I am, 48, and I'm just like, ugh.
I'm more the mindset that until I show symptoms of a problem, I don't want to over worry about it.
That's exactly how I am. And so, like, I got some symptoms, and I had some bloating and whatever. So,
See, I do get some.
so I
get kind of tooty.
yeah,
sometimes.
No, and in the end, so you know what? I started taking some probiotics.
Yeah.
Just trying to be overall generally healthier as an adult, like adulting. But no, it makes me nervous. I don't like going to the doctor, and because I always feel like I'm only here because they're going to tell me something. I got something that I got to do, and I don't like taking pills. I don't like doing that at all. So, yeah, we'll get it fixed and go on from there. But I just need a couple changes. But yeah, my Monday is going to be a little bit more, quite a bit more low key.
Huh. So I get to have fun trying to get you to drink.
Yeah. Well, I got to get up. My appointment's at 7 a.m. at Rockford Gastro.
Well, it's a day game.
Yeah, I think is it a 1 o'clock game or a 3 o'clock game?
It's a one something, 120 probably.
Which is nice. I like 120 games. Those are my favorite games because you're home at a decent time.
Yeah.
And especially on a Saturday, because you could, if you want to hang out, you got hours of time to hang out. Even if you're not staying, you can get home at a decent hour or so. I prefer the 120 game or 105 games.
Man, what's that going to be like hanging out with a sober Jim at a professional baseball game?
I barely drink at games anyway because I always drive, which I prefer.
You do tend to drive.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me one bit.
Well, I think that settles it. I'm not driving.
Yeah.
You are driving.
Well,
Thank
Laura
you.
used to have the excuse that,
we're
she had
not
like
driving your son's car.
No, gosh,
I am not getting into the back of that thing.
So
this frame won't fit.
oh yes, it will.
I tell you
Absolutely.
what,
You
not
haven't
with the
sat in
kind
it.
of comfort I'm going to need on the way back from doing all of my drinking and all of your drinking.
So Laura used to use the excuse she had astigmatism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward to about 2 years ago, she went and had some lens replacement surgery from a local eye doctor, Dr. Miller.
Yeah.
Dude, it's she has bionic eyes now. Like if you stare at her face long enough, like it'll have the sheen and it'll glow, and you're like,
Jim, that's not a thing I do.
no, well, you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Like if the light hits her eyes the right way, you're
if I
like,
stare at her face, just like
yeah, just
look
intently.
in my eyes.
Hello, Laura. Show me yours. Your Schwartz is as big as mine. So, but she, it's like I'm expecting laser beams to fire out of her eyeballs
That's funny.
because the
'Cause
lens
they
like
twinkle. And
yeah,
you
they
can see certain
reflect.
things. That's funny.
It's super crazy.
Yeah. That's good though. Those surgeries are amazing.
Yeah, no, it was a
I don't need 'em.
life-changing moment for Laura. When we sat on the couch, she could barely like if we were watching TV and there's something scrolling at the bottom of the TV,
Yeah.
she couldn't read it. And at night she had a really hard time seeing, driving, and this has been a life-changing moment for her getting that done.
That was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, she did. She had both eyes done. They're implants, so like they're registered or whatever. Super well from a customer standpoint, or like super easy. I'm sure it's extremely difficult from a doctor's standpoint, but very procedure is very quick and pretty seamless from a patient standpoint. Laura,
fantastic.
It wasn't like she was in any like a whole bunch of pain or anything. It was a little blurry, a couple days, whatever.
Did they have to patch her eyes, like cover up her face so she
no
light
it wasn't,
was coming?
Well, I think when she walked out of there a little bit, because they do one eye at a time.
Okay.
But
so she had like multiple. So she did one eye one day and
then like 3 weeks later or a month later, they did the other eye.
Okay.
Or maybe a week. I don't know.
That's got to be weird, just walking around like.
Well, so it makes your body makes the adjustment very quickly.
Okay.
What she noticed the most was like she had like some halos around signs and things, but there's like gases that build up underneath. So it's like a fog underneath the lens, and they do a procedure, I think 90 to 180 days later to kind of get rid of that. And it's amazing, man. Like she couldn't see anything.
I've never needed glasses, and I can imagine at some point I will. I know my mom needs reading glasses, and I think my dad has stolen my mom's from time to time for a few things. But I think I do take more after my father, where I just good eyesight, decent head of hair, general stuff that I'm very lucky that I don't have to deal with or haven't had to deal with. But it does, man, it's friggin' frightening some days when I wake up and like things are just a little bit more blurry than they used to be in the early going in the morning.
Or like when you rub your eye and all of a sudden you're like, I can't see.
Wait a minute, what is, yeah. It's just, and I don't know if that's old age or just, I don't know, maybe I'm just drunk still.
It takes a little bit longer for for that to recover.
It really though, it's like when do I need to start getting, like, when do I need to check out my internals? When do I need to check out my eyes? When do I have to get new hearing tests? And when am I going to notice that the problem is so bad that I have to do something about it, right?
It's like your home. It's maintenance. Speaking of that, so I was a little nervous. I had to renew my driver's license. My license expired.
I heard about this.
I was a little nervous, man. Like I was like, so Laura was like, hey, you have to make an appointment because you have to take the test again. And I was super nervous. I was like, oh man, it's been a minute since I took that driving test.
Yeah.
I didn't
have to change any laws.
No, well, I didn't have to drive. Actually, I'm sure they did, but if you can do a search on Google and like, hey, Illinois driving retest or whatever, Secretary of State, they have like all the tests on there, and you can go through and like do practice tests.
Oh yeah, so you could just kind of like train yourself on what they're actually going to test you on. Here I am knocking over this table.
Right.
Sorry, Kiko. Sorry.
Stop touching my stuff.
Right. That's all you have to tell him.
Boing. Anyways.
Without it, I don't know if I'd have passed it, but it was a really nice study guide.
Yeah.
So I took 30 minutes to do a little. I went through the sample tests a couple times, but
so you passed.
I did pass.
Good boy.
I answered. So the test is like 35 questions, but once you get to 28 correct answers, it's
just like you pass. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you're good.
So, but right on. It was. I was happy to. I just got it. It was the only reason I thought about it is I just got because I got the Real ID.
Oh yeah,
so
with the new layout on it and everything.
Well, it's just like it has just a star on it. That's it. There's nothing.
I remember when I moved from Illinois to Wisconsin, and I had to go through the whole process of like registering the cars in a different state, getting new plates, and then getting a new driver's license and stuff. And I I don't think I realized how old my actual driver's license was. And what's really crazy about that is I lost my driver's license a few times, and I've had to